And it's the building.
14th of May, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
We're on that, Bava Kama.
Sorry, I had my speaker off. I didn't know why I wasn't hearing anything. Thank you.
Okay, so Alan, we're on 108A. And I think Phil said it was on the second page of 108A.
You're on 108A2 on the left side, on the left, where the power begins. The Gemora presents another inquiry by Reb Papa. That's what we did last time.
His name is Yuval. He works for the agency. Oh, really? His name is Yuval.
Okay, Alan, 108A.
A1,
2. 108A2.
okay. Bava Kama, right?
Above a comma, yeah, make sure you got above a comma.
Yeah.
Okay, above a comma, 108A. Second page of 108A. You got that page?
Amar Rabba? Rabba said?
Boy, Rav Papa.
By Reb Papa. Reb Papa inquired.
Which column is it?
Left-hand column.
Left-hand column.
A1?
Boy, Rav Papa.
Good.
A1. Rabba said? Amar Rabba?
No, not on page 1, on page 2.
108A2. Turn the page.
Left-hand side?
Left-hand side.
Gemara presents another inquiry?
Yes.
Okay. Gemara presents another inquiry regarding two payments over one sum money. Rav Papa said regarding two 1/5 subcharges for the same money, low, or two careful payments for the same money, Bakar, Garora, incurred by one person. What's the law? The Gemara explains. Hey, Adomi, what's the case? Shetor an nas or bar benishba Chodor. It's a case where an unpaid custodian claimed a claim of loss and sought to that effect and amended his guilt. Omar, Banisba, Chodor, and later again he claimed a claim of loss and sought to that effect and admitted his guilt. Thus, he ought to have incurred two surcharges of 1/5 for the false oath for which he confessed. He no me kagon chate on ta nas the kagor nish baba alternatively, is a case where the custodian claimed a claim of theft by a thief and swore to that effect, and witnesses came and testified that he had stolen himself for var nas Gemora Ishba or deemed and later again claimed a claim of theft by a thief and swore to that effect, and witnesses came and testified that he had stolen himself. Thus, he ought to have incurred two capital penalties for false claim that were contradicted by witnesses. What's the law? Me or Renee, Teray, Nay, more Komar, more Noah, below, Nishtal, Mu, Far, more most. Do we say that the merciful one meant to say that two different types of monetary assessments, for example, 1/5 and kefil, should not be paid over one principal sum of money, war, who, and here is one type of assessment that would be paid twice, so the exemption is applicable, owned, more, or perhaps to rob, or mar, the low wish Talmud he will obey harm more the merciful one meant to say that two additional monetary assessments of any sort should not be paid over one principal sum of money. War, no more, Torah, and here too, there are two monetary assessments. Shall I continue?
No, that's good for now. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so Rav Papa, his question was two different questions, which is, I guess, the same question. When you have two payments, but they're both the same type of a payment. When you have two kefil payments to pay, or you have two chumash payments to pay, what's the din in that case? Do we say that do we say that just like we know that one kefil payment can exempt a chumash payment in regard to the same mammon, in regard to the same deposited item or sum of money, as the Art Scroll says, we already have proven that to be the din, that the exemption will apply as long as both the kefil and the chumash payment was regarding the same sum of money. That's what Rav approved from the Brisa. So now Rav Papa wants to know what happens if you have two payments, but they're both the same type of payment. You have two kefil payments, or you have two chomish payments. Does one kefil payment exempt the other kefil payment? Or the same, if you have two chomish payments, does one exempt the other one? Or do we say no, only when you have two different types of payments, such as kefil, if it's somebody's type kefil, or he's also type chomish, then we say that kefil will patra the different type of payment, the chomish. Or do we say no? The main idea that comes out from the Torah is that two payments you don't pay, even if it's the same payment. So both of these cases are there's two cases over here that the Gemora brought, where we one case has an obligation to pay two kefil payments, and the other case has an obligation to pay two chomish payments. What's the din in that case? Is he going to pay the two payments, or he only pays one? Okay. Now, do we have any Rashi over here? It doesn't look like it.
I don't see any.
Okay. So we have the questions clear, I believe. Now, let's see what the Gemora brings as a proof. Toshma the Amarava. We go to Louis away from his desk, so we'll go to Phil to continue the reading, please.
You're up to the Tashma now.
Toshma the Amarava. See what that? This is the first word in the line is latashlumo.
Okay. So it's near the end of the line. Toshma the Amarava. The Rebbe says, Chamishito Yosef Alav HaTorah. The Torah adds that you have to add a chomish on it, rifta, an extra chomish on it. Chamishto Arbei, that you can have lots of chomishes lekeren echad, on one keren. So Shema Mina from that, learn from that. So in a sense, it says if it's the same, I guess if it's the same type of payment, then you can have the multiples, but not one of each. That's what it seems to be. The Rashi on this lekeren echad, on one keren, im kafar, if he denies it, makes a false oath, so to speak, the choser, he goes back, the kafar, and he does it again, for who adin, the trade, tarin, tefillah. This should also be the rule for two kefils, just as well as that would have been the din for two chomeshes, but not if it was 1 and 1. So this, if you can have the multiples on two kefils or two chomesh on the same keren, because he went back and did it twice on the same thing, but not one of each, so to speak.
Oh, I see. In other words, if you take a look at the pasuk, you have a pasuk over here in the Torah Or on the side. You probably have it on the inside column. Torah says, "Omikol shava love, l'sheker l'shilimoso barosho v'chamishi sov Yosef." So the Gemora is medayek on the word v'chamishi sov Yosef alav. Now that word, I believe, is lashon rabim. I don't know why it doesn't have a vav a yud vav at the end, but the way it's read, it's chamishi sov, which is plural, as opposed to if the pasuk would have said v'chamishi so, he'll give his chomesh, as though to say all he's got to give is one chomesh. He doesn't give more than one chomesh. But if the pasuk says v'chamishi sov, it makes it sound like he could pay more than one chomesh on the same sum of money. And that's what Rav is medayik over here from this pasuk over here. Torah rivsa, the Torah includes for chiyuv chamishiyos harbe, many payments of chomesh lekeren achas, for one sum of money that he's required to pay for. That's in dispute. So we see from this pasuk that you could pay more than one chomesh even on one sum of money. So the Gemora, what does Rashi say over here? The Keren Achas im kafar v'chazar b'kafar. How could it be? He denied, and then he denied again and again. V'hu adin l'trein kfele. And also, similarly, in a case where you have two kefil payments, it's not the din would be so even in the case of two kefil payments, not just two chomesh payments. So we see over here clearly from the pasuk that you could make more than one chomesh payment in regard to one sum of money. And Rashi says there's no reason to say that you would not also be able to be chayav for two kefil payments as well. And so that will be the answer to the question. And so the Gemara says, Shma Mina, we got a good proof from the pasuk. So it's very interesting. Okay. I guess Rav Papa had a different interpretation of the pasuk, because Rav Papa was asking the question. He didn't know what the answer to this question he was asking. That's why he's asking the question. And Rav is basically saying, Rav Papa, take a look at this pasuk over here. Do you learn Chumash? You see in the pasuk that obviously Rav Papa must have had some other way to explain the pasuk. He didn't understand it like this. Okay, and so that's that. And now we go to the next section over here. Tiva'uhu bailim l'shomer. And we go to Lou to continue the reading.
Tiva'uhu ba'alim l'shomer. Let's see. The owner sued the custodian, v'nishba l'shilem, v'shilem, and he swore and he paid. He swore that it had been stolen. And then he paid for it. So, in other words, he swore it had been stolen, and then he minted, I guess. The chukar gagev, and the thief was was identified. Kefil Lemi. To whom is the kefil penalty paid? I'm not clear on the case here.
Okay, so I think that what happened is that even though the custodian took an oath, presumably claiming that the item that he was given to watch was stolen from him, so generally that'll be a defense to the owner. At that point, he won't be. He's not chayav to pay anything at that point. And it doesn't say that witnesses came and proved him to be a liar, but in any case, he got up the custodian and paid for the item that he just got through swearing was stolen from him, which does sound like
sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, right. Doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that? He just got through swearing that it was stolen from him, and now he's paying for it. He doesn't have to. He's under no obligation whatsoever to pay for it. He according to the oath that he made, that's what he owes the owner of the item. He swore that it was stolen from him, and that's it. He goes out of the Beis Din. He's exempt. So for some reason he paid, and now what happened is that they actually v'hukar aganev, which is also an interesting expression. It doesn't say that witnesses came in and said that a third person stole it from the custodian's house. It just says an expression of hukar. They hukar haganev. The ganev was recognized. The one that stole the item that the custodian swore that it was in fact stolen. They hooker aganev.
English says, my English says that the thief was identified.
Yeah, I'm not okay.
What does that mean?
It seems what it means is that the Beis Din is officially accepting the fact that the item that was in the hands of the shomer was in fact stolen, because the proof of it is that they identified who stole it from the house of the custodian.
And whoever they identified is the one who has to now pay the kefil.
And yeah. So now the Gemora wants to know, the question is, kefil lemi. The question now is, does the kefil go to the owner, or does the kefil go to the custodian? That's the question over here. So we have a Rashi over here. Tava'uhu bailim l'shomer chinam. Rashi has a girsa. Benishbal.
The vuhu. Okay, the tavuhu basically is saying that made a claim that the bailim made a claim on the Shomer Chiman, and he swore.
Shomer chinam. Benishbal.
And he swore. And what he swore says, Shenigneva, that it was stolen from him, the Shomachinam.
Right.
V'nifater. And he would be exempt from having to pay that. V'achakach, And afterwards, Shilaim, he did pay for them, but in front of them, he did afterwards. Shilaim lifnei mishuras hadin, because he wanted to go beyond what the actual law says. The law would say that he wouldn't have to really pay, but he decided to pay anyway because he wanted to be be extremely meticulous, and said, I'm going to go beyond the letter of the law and I'm going to pay, even though he would have been putter from having to pay.
Right.
So in other words,
Right.
he swore and then he changed his mind.
Why does he have to change his mind?
Because the only reason to swear is to avoid payment.
In other words, why did he need to swear if he just pays? Maybe he wants to show the guy that the truth of the matter is that it was stolen. But listen, I feel badly that you lost your thing. So listen, I'll pay for it, even though I'm not obligated to do so. But I'll pay for it because I'm sorry you lost the thing that you entrusted with me. According to the strict rule of the law, since the owner of the item did not pay the custodian anything to watch it, so the custodian is his obligation is that he has to do a certain level of responsibility in watching over the item to make sure that the item is not he's able to guard the item, that nothing happens to it. But everything short of him being posheya, of being negligent, he's not responsible for it. But nevertheless, so in other words, all he has to do really is swear that it was stolen from him. He did not do anything to cause. He did not act negligently to cause that it should be stolen from him. But nevertheless, so therefore, according to the strict letter of the law, he's exempt. The amount of guarding the item that he needed to do, he did. The guy didn't pay him anything to guard it, and he gave that amount of guarding. Maybe even gave even more guarding than that. But nevertheless, the item was stolen. So he feels badly, so he gives it back to him. I don't know if it means that he has to have changed his mind about what did he change his mind about?
Well, presumably, a person doesn't want to swear because it's a big burden. It's a big deal, and also this punishment for swearing falsely is very severe, and he's afraid that maybe he'll make some kind of a mistake in his oath, and so he really does not want to swear. So if he swears, you're saying, well, the only reason he swore was because he wants it to be clear that he didn't steal it.
Yeah,
so he's going to pay anyway. That seems, well, okay, fine. That's what he said, I'm going to pay because I feel bad for you that you lost your thing, even though it's not my fault. But I'm going to swear because I don't want you to mistakenly think that I stole it. Okay,
right?
Fine.
If the guy says, "Okay, you know what? I'll pay you for it." So true. One way of looking at that is this person is so scared of making a shvua. He knows what the Peliot says about making a shvua, and all the worlds are trembling because he uses Hashem's name to make a shvua. Oy vavoy, oy vavoy. That's one way of looking at the reason why he doesn't want to make a shvua. The other way is that the owner of it is going to say, I know why he's just paying me, because he's got it in his backyard and he just wants to pay for it, because I mean, that's what he's got to do now. He's got to pay for it. If he doesn't swear, he's got to pay for it. That's the din. The din is if you don't swear, you got to pay. That's the din.
Right.
Done both. He swore. He actually.
It's not, that's the prerogative. That's the power of the claim of the owner of the item. He can force this guy to make a shvua. I believe so. I believe he can do that.
But he didn't. He didn't say anything. Haven't said anything about.
Even though he has no witnesses, the guy. If he has one witness, then I think it's a Torah obligation he's got to swear. But even if he has no witnesses, I think midrabanan he got to swear. And if he doesn't swear, he's got to pay. I think so. I'm not 100% sure about that. That would be a question. That would be a question.
No, doesn't he have to swear to? He has to swear in order to avoid paying, because then it's, you know. And sometimes you'd say, I don't want to take a shvua. It's too chashuv for me to take a shvua, and I'd rather pay than take the shvua. So it's an interesting question as to why, in this case, all of a sudden he's trying to take the shvua and then pay anyway. He could have paid without taking the shvua and avoided this whole problem.
Yeah. Does the art scroll say anything about this?
No,
Okay.
but there is a discussion about this principle in Bava Metzia, where it says he swore and did not want to pay. I'm sorry, he says he's paid and did not want to swear. And then the discussion over there, I think from Rashi, says that what I said, that, you know, he doesn't want to swear, even though he's not guilty. He says, you know, I don't want to swear. I'm a chashuv Jew, and Jews don't swear, and I don't want to take a chance, and therefore I'll pay you to avoid swearing.
I don't understand to avoid swearing, but he did swear.
Right. That's my question. But what we're the conclusion that we're coming to is that he's a good guy. He wants to pay. He feels bad for the owner. He wants to pay him, but nevertheless, he doesn't want the owner to think he stole it. So he's going to swear, even though swearing is not something a person likes to do. He's going to swear anyway to maintain his reputation, and at the same time, because he's such a good guy, he's going to swear. He's going to pay.
Covering all bases.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that's it already. Okay.
We continue tomorrow.
To be continued.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Have a great day and a great week. Shvua tov, a good tzvach. All the best.
Sorry I came late. I wasn't feeling well for a little bit. So I'm feeling all giddy.
Refuah Shalema, Roy.
Feel better, Roy.
I have all these things. Anyway.
Gesund and stark.
Oh man. So anyway, so be well, everybody, and see you.
Okay.
Tell yourself you feel gewaldig. And your body will hear that.
I feel gewaldig. No?
Even if you're lying through your teeth,
As a robot, I feel like a Gavaldic robot.
it works.
See you
All
at
right.
4, Alan.
Pardon me?
I'll see you at 4.
Okay.